So we are back at the Manufacturers Cup. I'm still driving for Renault. I have an updated livery, and you can probably tell from the thumbnail that there was a crash. Someone took me out on the final lap. You'll see in the video. I'm also going to be posting later on this week a separate video of the person that hit me. Probably going to be a lot of commentary, more commentary than normal throughout this race. The soft and the medium tires are both required. This was my third race in a row. I didn't have the greatest qualifier, but somehow I still managed to get pole position. On my fastest lap, a guy spun in front of me, and that kept me from improving on my lap time. But luckily, it was enough to get me pole position. I started on the medium tire, just hoping that no one took me out so I could try to get a distance from everyone behind me if they were also on the medium tire. Some people did start on the soft tire, as you will see in the video. And it was pretty easy to tell which guy started on the soft tire over the medium, just from their overall pace and how quickly they were catching up, considering what their qualifying lap time was. So, hope you guys enjoy, and like I said, there'll probably be a little bit more commentary than normal throughout this race. So we made it through turn one, the first major turn. No incidents, but I was on the mediums and I didn't do any practice laps at all on the medium tire, and the car was quite sketchy on the medium tire. So I had to, try to warm the tires up because they were pretty cold on this track, and try to figure out a braking point because it was just nowhere near the amount of grip that I had on the softs. So as you can see from the opening lap, me and the guy behind me who raced me very clean, kudos to you, we spread a decent gap already in one lap from the guys behind us. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, the guy behind me is definitely probably on the mediums, and if anyone starts to catch up to us, considering there's a good gap behind us already, they had to be on the softs. Here he peeked his nose in the inside. We had a little bit of a racing incident. No harm, no foul. I'm not sure if it was my fault or his fault, but whatever the case may be, he backed out. He didn't take me out. There was no damage done. So I still consider it a clean race from the both of us. So I wasn't having my best race, my best laps, and this Porsche had a really good run out of that last turn. So I was saying to myself, all right, well, I'm just going to let him by, and I'll just follow him. There's no sense of us fighting, just slowing us down. And I can see now in my rear view that there's a red car approaching us. Now, I already knew we had a decent gap at first, so my thought was the guy in the car in the red must be on the softs. And I started to think that maybe this guy in front of me is on the softs, because I didn't think my pace was all that slow on the mediums. Luckily for me, he made a mistake, he hits the wall, and I get first place back again. But now I'm starting to think that the car in red definitely is on the softs for how quickly he's catching up to us. Now that I see that the red Genesis Coupe is actually pretty close, I'm hoping that them fighting will then allow me to spread my gap between first and second place. Also, with them fighting more, that means the guy in the soft tires is just wearing out his tires quicker. Now the Genesis Coupe is a real threat now that he's gotten past the Porsche and he's behind me, and I'm pretty sure that he's on the soft tire. Which is okay, because if he passes me, he will have to eventually pit, and then he'll be on the mediums and I'll be on the soft tire. So now I see that there's another car back there that wasn't there previously, and that is this BMW Z Coupe. And I know that he must be on the soft tire as well, and he pretty much came out of nowhere, it seems like. So I keep seeing that every corner his lights are flashing, which pretty much means that he's probably running traction control. And usually that means he's on controller. Which in another video you will see a huge advantage that controller players do have over wheel players. I actually wish Gran Turismo would separate the input devices according to the races. But that'll be talked about more in another video. going into the pit, and now I know that he was definitely on the soft tire. So now as I'm coming out the pit, I see that the BMW just goes by me. So now I just have to play catch up since I'm on the better tire. So because I'm on the grippier tire and I knew he was making mistakes, I took the initiative to go for the pass on the inside, left him plenty of room, and we get the pass done. And this is where Gran Turismo needs to be fixed. Coming up in his very next turn, as you can imagine, he's going to do what most of Gran Turismo players tend to do when they get passed. I stay tighter to the left a little bit, knowing I have the grippier tire, and that he would have to either go to the outside because he wouldn't have the grip to take the inside. And he decides to just rear end me and punch me off the track. And he actually gets 0 penalty for that. Because now my car is damaged and I have dirty tires, I ended up going slightly off the track again in this very next turn right here. But luckily, there was enough of a gap between me and the BMW that the guy that's in third place doesn't catch back up to me. So we end up finishing the race in second place. Should have been first, but of course the guy that punted me didn't get a penalty. And even if he did get a penalty, it wouldn't have mattered because I was so far back I wouldn't have passed him anyway. But Gran Turismo really needs to have a penalty system that works better, or a reporting system.